Every night you visit this place you just don't remember. Welcome to Somnia, a vast metropolis where every street is a hope and every door leads to a different mind. Meet Lyra. She's a dream walker. She can enter any dream, anywhere, walking through Somnia like a local. But every dream she enters leaves a mark. Every change she makes changes the dreamer too. Tonight she enters a child's nightmare, a recurring terror that refuses to let go. She steps in, calm and practiced. "Hey, sweetheart," she whispers. "Remember me?" The shadow towers over her, but Lyra doesn't flinch. Shadows can't hurt you if you turn on the light. With a single gesture, the darkness is gone. The dream is saved. For now, Lyra wakes in the real world, gasping. Another night, another nightmare fixed. Or so she thinks. She walks to the mirror, routine and safe, but then she freezes. A symbol, not a tattoo, not a bruise, something new, something impossible. And then she sees the note, a warning from someone who shouldn't be able to reach her here. A knock at her door, no one there, just that same symbol carved into the wood. The dreams are bleeding. She needs answers, and there's only one place to find them. Back into the deep. This isn't the city she knows. Something has changed. The city itself feels sick. At the end of the street, a figure waits, watching, not moving, waiting for her. This is Morpheus, the first dreamer. He's been watching Lyra for a very long time. The sleeper is waking, he warns, and when they do, every dream will end. The first nightmare, the one who refused to wake for centuries, their dreams are becoming reality. That mark means they've noticed you, Lyra. You're already part of their dream now. Somnia begins to collapse. Time is running out to find the way back. "Find Echo," Morpheus whispers before dissolving. "He's been looking for you." Lyra, finally. A familiar face in a world of ghosts. "I've been searching for you across 1,000 dreams." The journey has only just begun. Wake up. Last time I learned that dreams are dying, and someone's been looking for me, someone who knows more than they should. "Who are you?" I asked. "How do you know my name?" He just gave me a sad smile. Echo is a walker, just like Lyra. But he's been watching the sleeper's dream spread for a long time, infecting everything it touches. It's making the dreams darker, and he's been looking for Lyra because she's the only one who's ever left that dream alive. "I've never been in the sleeper's dream," I told him. "I don't even know who they are." But the mark on her arm says otherwise. It's the proof of a memory she's long since forgotten. She was 7. She had a nightmare and wandered into the sleeper's dream by accident, a place no one returns from. The sleeper takes memories. They feed on what dreamers forget. That's why they're so powerful. She escaped, and that made her immune. But now she's walking toward them again, and they can feel it. The sleeper is waking. When they do, every dreamer in every world will be trapped in their nightmare forever. He took me to the edge, a door made of screams and memories. Beyond it lies the heart of the nightmare. "Once you enter, you might not come back," Echo warned. But Lyra knew she had no choice. She stepped through the threshold. If she had to find her lost memories, she'd make new ones first. The world inside was wrong, older, sicker. It was a landscape born from 1,000 years of dreaming. "Welcome back, little dreamer," a voice whispered. It was everywhere and nowhere at once. The sleeper emerged, not a monster, but something ancient, tired and lonely. They had forgotten how to wake. "I came to stop you," she said, but the sleeper's laugh was hollow. They didn't want to fight. "To save me," they whispered. Images flooded her mind, a memory of a child reaching out in kindness. She saw it then, herself at 7, smiling at the monster and telling them, "It's okay, you're not alone." "I remember now," the sleeper whispered. The nightmare began to shift into something beautiful. The heart of the nightmare was breaking. For the first time in centuries, the sleeper was ready to wake. But waking up is never easy, especially when the world depends on it. Last time I learned that the sleeper isn't my enemy. They're someone I met long ago, someone who's been waiting for me to come back. This is the sleeper's dream. Every memory, every hope, and every nightmare they couldn't escape, floating in a vast void. The sleeper has been here so long they've forgotten what waking feels like. They've become the dream itself. They were 7, just like Lyra. They found a door in their dreams and walked through, but they couldn't find the way back. Centuries passed. The child became the dream, and the dream became a prison, until Lyra came, a child lost in their dream, offering the one thing they hadn't felt in 100 years: kindness. "Do you want to be friends?" she asked. For centuries, no one had offered kindness, just fear, just running, until her. She promised to return, but the dream took her memory to keep them both alone, to keep the sleeper trapped. "I'm so sorry," Lyra whispered. "I didn't know." But the sleeper's gentleness was the only answer she needed. But the dream doesn't want to let go. It's grown too strong. It has a voice now, and a will. The part of the sleeper that gave up, the part that wants to stay asleep forever, the nightmare personified. "Then we fight it," Lyra declared. "Together." The battle for the dreamer's soul began. The nightmare lashing out, claiming its prize. But Lyra held tight, refusing to let go.
"They belong to themselves," she screamed, "and they're choosing to wake up."
The sleeper remembered, not the centuries of darkness, but the moment of kindness. They chose the light. They stepped away from the nightmare and toward the waking world. The prison was finally breaking. The dream didn't break. It was released. After all this time, the sleeper was finally waking. "I'll be right here," Lyra promised. And for the first time in centuries, the sleeper wasn't alone. The dream emptied, just her, in the quiet after the storm. The sleeper was gone. Echo was waiting. "You did it," he said. And Lyra finally felt the weight of the world lift, for a moment. "We did it," she corrected him. But even in the peace, something was stirring. The sleeper wakes, but the nightmare isn't over. Not yet. Last time, we woke the sleeper. They finally chose to wake. But their nightmare, it didn't die. It got free. I stepped back into the city, but I wasn't alone. The nightmare looked at me before I left. It found a bridge. Echo couldn't believe it. A nightmare without a dreamer? It's impossible, unless it found someone new to feed on. We looked at my arm. The mark was pulsing, darker, greedier. It's using me as a bridge to the real world. I woke up, but it followed me. Even in the waking world, I could feel it watching from the corners of my room. It was there. Not quite visible, but waiting for me to close my eyes again. I tried to stay awake. Hours turned into an agonizing blur, but in the end, exhaustion always wins. I fell back into the dream, but it wasn't my dream anymore. "You took my dreamer," the nightmare hissed. "Now I'll take yours." I ran, but the nightmare was everywhere. It was faster than I thought. It was learning how I move. Echo found me. He pulled me into his own dream, a sanctuary where the nightmare couldn't reach us. Not yet. There was only one way to destroy it, send it back to the sleeper. But that meant the sleeper would fall back into the darkness. I thought of the child, the freedom they just found. I couldn't send them back to that cage, not after everything. Then, a voice I knew. Morpheus. He told us there was another way, a way that didn't involve the sleeper. The nightmare needs a dreamer to exist. It doesn't have to be the sleeper. It could be you, Lyra. I would become its cage, its home. I would contain the darkness, but I would never have a peaceful night again. Echo tried to stop me. He said I'd given enough, but I knew what I had to do. The sleeper waited centuries for freedom. "I can handle a few nightmares," I said. Morpheus looked at me with a respect I'd never seen. "You are braver than I ever was." The sanctuary was breaking. The nightmare had found us. "Found you," it hissed from the shadows. I didn't run. I opened my arms. "Come home," I whispered. "I'll be your dreamer now." The darkness rushed in. I could feel it taking root in my mind. The bargain was struck. The nightmare was contained. But as the dream world fell silent, a new question emerged. What have I done? The nightmare has a home, and the home is me. Wake up. Last time I made a choice. I chose to carry the nightmare so the sleeper could be free. Now I have to live with that choice. The nightmare was confused. It had never been offered a home before. "You would take me willingly," it hissed. "You need a dreamer. I need you to stop hurting others," she said. It seemed like a fair trade for the world's peace. Darkness flooded into her. Her eyes went black, then cleared. The bargain was sealed in ink and shadow. Echo was there to catch her. "I'm okay," she whispered. It's inside me. I can feel it taking root. You carry a piece of the eternal dream now, Morpheus warned. You will never sleep peacefully again. In the real world, someone else was opening their eyes. The sleeper was finally awake, human and confused. They remembered the child who offered a hand. They remembered the woman who gave them freedom. I have to find her. Back in the dream, Echo looked at Lyra with awe. You're the bravest person I've ever met, he said. Echo revealed the truth. He was there the night she first entered the nightmare. He tried to follow, but he got lost for years. He'd been searching for 1,000 dreams, not to save her, but to thank her for showing him that dreams could be kind. 2 worlds, 1 connection. The sleeper was searching the real city, guided by a link they both could feel. The sleeper. They're awake, Lyra gasped. And they're looking for me. The mark was now a bridge of sensation, but the nightmare inside her stirred. It didn't want her to find the child. No, it hissed. They're mine. She fought it back with everything she had. You're not in control, she screamed into the void of her own mind. I am. Echo grabbed her hands, pulling her back from the brink. I'm with you, he promised, whatever happens next. Through the mark, she felt them, lost, scared, and searching for the only friendly face they knew. Lyra, where are you? I'm coming, she whispered back through the connection. Stay where you are. I'm coming for you. Wake me up, Echo, she commanded. I need to find them before the nightmare finds a way out. Echo nodded and reached out. With a single push, he sent her back to the waking world, back to reality. She woke up gasping, the city sounds rushing in. The search had begun and time was running out. Hurry, Lyra, because you aren't the only thing that followed the sleeper into the light. Last time I became the nightmare's home. Now I have to find the sleeper before it tears me apart from inside. I ran through the city following the pull. People were just blurs. All I could feel was him. Then I saw him, sitting there, looking so small, so human. Lyra, he whispered. We saw each other, the marks on our skin pulsing together like 2 hearts. I crossed the street, and every step felt like walking through water. You came, he said through tears. I promised, didn't I? I replied. Even if I didn't remember, my soul did. But the nightmare inside me stirred. It didn't want to let go. No, it hissed. They're mine. I fought it. I tried to keep it inside, to carry the weight, but it was pulling itself free, reaching for him. Come back to me, it roared. He watched it, his nightmare, fighting to reclaim him. It's part of me, he said. If I take it back, I go back to sleep. But you've carried enough. I screamed for him to stop, but he didn't absorb it. He pushed the nightmare away with a power I'd never seen before. I'm not the dreamer I was, he declared. I'm awake now, and I choose to let go. The nightmare thrashed, lost without an anchor. Without a dreamer, a nightmare can't exist. It looked at me one last time, not with hate, but with understanding, and then it was gone. Silence fell. We stood there in the park, ordinary and real. The dream was at peace. For the first time, we were both truly awake. I felt Morpheus's presence one last time. The dream is at peace because of you, he whispered. Echo was there too, a shadow among trees, smiling before he faded into the light. We sat together. No words were needed, just the warmth of another soul. The weight was gone, but the memory remained. What now? He asked. I looked at the mark on my arm, now just a faint scar. Now? I smiled. Now we live. Wake up, your own dream is waiting.